So this is a diagram of immune response of the humoral immune response and the cell-mediated immune response. And first, this is our antigen, the first exposure of the antigen. And then below you have the antigen-presenting cell, which engulfs the antigen. And then below that we have our helper T cell, which has been stimulated by the antigen-presenting cell right here. And then that gives rise to the memory helper T cells, which remember it. And then down here, this antigen is going to be the second exposure, and it's going to be tackled by the memory T cells because they have already been exposed up here. So that's just the basics, and then we're going to go into the specifics of the humoral immune response and how it differs from the cell-mediated immune response. So for the humoral immune response, the first thing that's going to happen is the antigen is going to stimulate the B cell, pictured right here, and then the B cell is going to give rise to the plasma cells right here, so multiple plasma cells, and those are going to secrete the antibodies, pictured right here. And those are going to defend against the extracellular pathogens by binding to the antigens, and then neutralize the pathogens by making them better targets for phagocytes and complement proteins to come in and destroy them. And then the other thing is that the helper T cell right here also stimulates the B cell, so they work in synergy for that. And then on the other side, we have your cell-mediated immune response, which is going to be slightly different in that you have your antigen-presenting cell is what's going to stimulate the cytotoxic T cell, not the antigen up here. It's going to be the antigen-presenting cell. And then the helper T cell is going to also stimulate the cytotoxic T cell, so the same thing over there. But then it's going to give rise to the cytotoxic T cell is going to give rise to more active cytotoxic T cells right here. And then you have your memory cytotoxic T cells right here, and they are going to be what respond to the antigen upon second exposure, just like how the how the memory B cells pictured here are going to be what respond to the antigen on the second round too. And then this shows how the active cytotoxic T cells are defending against intracellular pathogens, like cancer and things like that. Not like cancer, but intracellular pathogens and cancer by binding to and lysing or killing and causing apoptosis in the infected cells or cancer cells. So right here you have it binding and then killing the cell.